Breaking news just into Rockfeed, we have some heartbreaking and shocking news to report. As Brent Hinds, the co-founding former guitarist of Mastodon, has died at the age of 51. This, according to local news reports in Atlanta, Georgia, related to a tragic motor vehicle accident. Now, we're hearing statements and tributes pouring in from around the world, the massive impact that he had on heavy music. We also have a statement just in from his former band with Mastodon. Here's what we know about this very sad situation. According to a report from Atlanta News First, the accident occurred on Wednesday, August 20th, in the band's hometown of Atlanta. Police stated that Hinds was riding his Harley-Davidson motorcycle when the driver of a BMW SUV failed to yield while making a turn. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office later confirmed Hinds' death. For 25 years, it's been a fun, wild, and absolutely essential part. We achieved a lot of things that I never in a million years would have imagined. There's been Grammys, touring with our heroes like Iron Maiden, guitarist Metallica, Motorhead, and Tool. I cherish all of that. Based on those statements, it seemed like a sad but amicable parting of ways. But then, in June, the first crack in that professional facade appeared. On a post celebrating the 11th anniversary of the album Once More Around the Sun, a fan commented that they were going to miss Brent Hinds. And Hinds himself responded directly, writing, "I won't miss being in a shit band with horrible humans." That was the first real public shot fired. The feelings behind the scenes were not as cool.
She died in her sleep. The last time we spoke, she said what she always said. I don't just call you when I'm feeling suicidal. When it happened, I thought that that's what it was. That she'd finally run out of the strength to keep going. But even crueler, it was something else. She didn't know was coming. She'd call me and tell me, sometimes for hours, that she couldn't see her way to sitting down and writing a book. Writing a sentence that was for her. They would text all the time, and I'd ask if she'd written anything. And she would tell me she'd written a paragraph or even a sentence. But she couldn't seem to give herself the space to do it. We knew each other as well as anyone in our lives. She told me things that she couldn't trust anyone else to keep safe. She called me because I would never call in a wellness check, and I trusted her to never make me regret making her feel safe. She was going to come run my film company with me. I wanted so badly to give her purpose. She dies in her sleep. And I write about her, and a woman I've never met asks me to take my words back, to hide her depression from her parents, to hide her away where no one can see her, to lie. In my anger, I turned away from grief. I wanted to scream, and for a while I could. I screamed to the music I knew well. And I knew better than anything.
We lost somebody very special to us yesterday. Brent Hinds 25 years with us as our guitar player, one of the most creative, beautiful people that we've ever come across in this world. Tragically left us. Very, very unfortunate. We loved him so very much. And you know, we had the ups and downs of a 25-year relationship, you know what I mean? It's not always perfect, it's not always amazing, but we were brothers to the end. And we really loved each other, you know? And we made a lot of very beautiful music together. And I think that that's gonna stand the test of time, evidenced by you people here tonight. So we will continue to play Brent's beautiful, beautiful music that he helped us make, that we formed this band together and traveled the world together, slept in a van together, laid our heads down on beds of fucking kitty litter, you know, got way too drunk to remember anything the next day, about 1,000 million times over and over again. And you know, with the love that we shared and the beauty, all the audiences that we played for, all the stages we stepped on. I don't know, you know, we're just at a loss for words. We're absolutely devastated and crushed to lose him and to be able to never have him back again. But you guys made it okay for us to come on stage and do this tonight.
I'm talking about my life. I can't seem to get that through to you. I'm not just talking about one person, I'm talking about everybody. I'm talking about form. I'm talking about content. I'm talking about interrelationships. I'm talking about God, the devil, hell, heaven. Do you understand? Finally!
My name is William Brent Hinds, and we are at my house on the back porch here in the West End, where I've lived for many years. Capitol View Manor, to be exact. I come from Birmingham, Alabama. I was born at St. Cyanid's Hospital across the street from the Nick, where I'm playing on April 20th. I grew up in Helena, Alabama, and I was probably a normal kid that liked to wear capes and ride bikes, This is my earliest memory, by the way. I don't remember anything before what I'm about to tell you. Like, what, you know what I mean? It was my 5th birthday, 5 years old. I went to Bargain Town, USA. That was a big store back in the day. And I guess it was 79 or something. And it was my birthday, my dad said, you come in here and you pick out anything you want. I picked out a Slim Whitman picture disc LP. And I was like, this is what I want. You know what I mean? I guess my dad was like, how do you know about Slim Whitman? I would stay with my granddad and my grandma, like when my parents had to work, and they would just kind of plop me over there and just be here like for these hours. And the only thing to do was go through their record collection. And I had pretty strict disciplining. My dad would beat me up or beat me with a belt if I didn't, if I didn't act right, you know what I mean? And so that was just the way you raised your kids in the 70s. You beat them right, that's just, and I love the dude to death. I'm glad he did it, whatever.
Another edition of the Grammy Awards is in the history books tonight, but here's something you might not know. Turns out there's a Pelham connection in the list of nominees, a guitarist in one of the most popular hard rock bands on the planet. News 42's Sherry Jackson has the story.
This is not American Idol, and it's not Star Search. This is Life's Blood, the power and fury of heavy metal. One of the bands at the forefront is this crew of stage maniacs, Mastodon. Their sound is every bit as heavy as their name, bringing blood, sweat, and tears to cities worldwide for half a decade now. Touring nonstop with heavyweights like Slayer, Lamb of God, and Tool, Mastodon's hard work is paid off with the pinnacle of success, a Grammy nomination.
I enjoy life and I live it to the fullest.
The story begins in Pelham more than a decade ago when a 13-year-old kid named Brent Hinds asked his father for a guitar.
He wanted to have 4 knobs and a whammy bar. That was what it had to have.
Brent's father, not knowing what the future held for his son, got him a guitar, but with a set rule.
You got to learn to read music and take lessons.
Brent wasn't into it at first, but this unique education paid off pretty quick, leading him to the Alabama School of Fine Arts.
So he went down and auditioned for that and got in on his first audition.
A year later, Brent returned to Pelham High School, graduated, and then began his quest for success, playing first in some Birmingham-based bands, always paying the dues.
The process you go through, you are a carpenter's helper or some kind of laborer all day long. Then when you get off at 5:30 or 6 o'clock, you go practice to midnight, or you may drive 200 miles and play for nothing.
No question.
Through music, like what it did to me, affected me as a kid. I was like, Dad, we need to get a guitar at the house. Everyone could play it or whatever. Like, he's like, you guys will just put it in the closet like you do with all the other things I buy you. I'm like, year after year, I would say, we got to get a guitar. So we didn't get one until I was around like 8 or 9, and then we got a guitar. My brother would hide it, and I would have to find it. One time he hid it outside and it got ruined, and so that guitar was gone. And then, it was just kind of a nightmare, really, trying to obtain an instrument to play music with, because he knew I liked music, and so he would want to buy me an album. I was like, I don't want an album. I want an instrument. I don't care if it's drums, piano, guitar, whatever. I just want something I can play music on. Because they let you have that privilege at that school because you're an artist at that school, and they treat every kid like an adult there, no matter how old they are. They say you can take care of your homework. You don't have to come to class. You got to maintain this grade average, work on your art the whole entire time you're here. Killer. So I was just doing what I was told, playing guitar. And I never went to class, and I never did homework, and I just played guitar constantly. Went to every guitar class. And they only kept me in the school for 1 semester, and they kicked me out. And then I pretty much just quit going to school by the time I was in 11th grade. you know. And then I just took my GED, and they wouldn't let me. Well, no, I think I graduated, but I didn't graduate because I fell asleep in Saturday school. I don't think I did. So anyways, she was like, you fell asleep in Saturday school? This Saturday school doesn't count, and it's the last Saturday school of the year. You're not going to graduate with your class, and that's that. And so be it. And I'm like, what, you're telling me I can't walk with my class? He's like, yep. I'm like, well, I didn't fall asleep. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, they mailed me my diploma. Then they called me many years later when Mastodon started getting nominated for Grammys, wanting me to do like a speech at their school, asking what it would take for me to do a speech at their school. I said, well, all you have to do is erect a statue of me in the courtyard. And they were like, no. And I was like, well, I'm have a nice day. School, you know, I guess this is where the music really starts to hype up for me, and skateboarding, and I was really into skateboarding and playing guitar at this point in my life. I'm 13, I guess, you know, like, and I'm in 8th grade, and I was getting pretty good on guitar. So, and you know, back then it was just word got around that, you know, this kid is available to play guitar, and like I got picked up by some guys that went to Barry. I think they went to Barry High School. Bruce Castleberry, and he had a band. It was called Kill Darling, and wanted me to play guitar with him. I met him like in passing somehow. You know, my older brother was 3 years older, and Bruce was 3 years older. So but Pelham kids didn't fuck with Barry kids. It was like, you know, I'll kick your ass, boy. You know, you ain't from around here. You're from up city way. Well, they were down the country. Barry was in the city. Started playing guitar in this band called Kill Darling, and then the drummer for the band, his dad owned the fucking Oak Mountain State Park Amphitheater. Johnny Ruffino. Now Johnny Ruffino owns the fucking Oak Mountain State Park Amphitheater. Yeah, you know I'm talking about you, Johnny. So anyways, our first gigs when I'm like 14, we're opening up for Widespread Panic, Driving and Crying, fucking like Cinderella, like shit like this. I'm 14 years old. I'm playing guitar in front of fucking, I don't know, a couple thousand people and loving it, you know? My agenda with my like mindset was like, because my dad kept offering me like an album or some music to listen to, and what I really wanted was to be a part of music.
I was working at this place called Junkman's Daughter, and I was playing in a band called 4 Hour Fogger, and I lived in my van in the parking lot with my dog Melvin, and if I was late, I was never late for work. There's, hey Brent, come on. Yeah. So, and you know, whatever, years push by, dreads grow longer. Fucking Bill walks in, and I'm like, hey, you know, he came off tour with Today's the Day, with Neurosis was my favorite band, it still is, and it was then, and then I said, that guy went on tour with my favorite band, I gotta beat that guy, you know, natural monkey see, monkey do. Hey man, you know, what's up?
Well, we're gonna meet up at this Mexican restaurant first to have a drink before we're gonna go jam. Well, we get there and the Patron ladies show up in gold lame dresses, giving everyone free shots of tequila. I had one too many. We get down there and I'm like, man, let's play this kind of music. I want to start a generator up and like mic it, and then like they're just like, we can't jam with this guy. He's no good. And so,
it wasn't awesome, you know, because he was pretty drunk. So.
And at the time, I was very into doom metal. And in 1999, I was really into like tones and I was like really into like what Sun O and Yob are doing now. Like that's what I was into in '99. Like I wanted to create a band like that. and 99 very badly. And that's what I wanted. That was my original vision with Mastodon. But then once I heard Bron Daylor play the drums, that all went out the window real quick. You know, this is back when we had phones that went ring, ring, hello, you know. Hey, oh, it's Bill. Hey, man, yeah. Dude, I'm sorry I got drunk and I got this crazy doom vision. Like, I want to make everything like all noisy, and like, I want when people to listen to our music, they just want to jump off a building, man. I don't want to fucking, you know, just scare people with it. And he's like, yeah, well.
He came over to our house the next day after that audition. Or not audition, but, you know, we were just going to jam together, you know what I mean? He came over to our house the next day. I think he kind of realized that it didn't go well, you know what I mean?
We should get together again. Like Bron, I heard that Bron told Bill, like, that guy can't play guitar. That guy's no good. He's a drunk and he's just a fucking wild man, you know, whatever. Like, let's look for somebody else. So Bill was like, no, I've heard him play before. His band opened up for I've seen him play before. He's good. And so just trust me. So I came over when I was sober and I played some stuff for him or whatever.
And he just started ripping on this. He was like, I got all these songs, and he was just really excited, you know, so. And he started playing on Bill's acoustic and saw these sick riffs, and I was like, where was this guy last night, you know? So he definitely redeemed himself. And I knew he was a great guitar player. I just had been told by everybody in the scene, like, oh, you don't want to jam with that guy. It's a lot of baggage, you know. I was like, I don't know. Who doesn't have baggage?
This is for all you sorry saps who hate your fucking job. To know that all the people that work hard for their shit and paying money to get to shows like this, we thank you. This is a song called Workhorse.
We don't like to brag on ourselves. We're here with Mastodon.
The biggest band in the whole world.
Biggest band in the whole world. We're here. Oh, they're here. I'm a free spirit.
What's that?
A free spirit.
You're gonna get in trouble.
What?
You're gonna get in trouble too.
Let's go, come on.
No. I don't want to get my camera
Hey,
give her your dad so it's like he's hot.
You guys are pussycats.
You're gonna get in trouble, dude.
I collect the creature from the Black Lagoon. I also have one here. The creature walks among us. But that's about the only thing I guess I really care about collecting. I mean, I like oddities just like the next guy likes oddities, though, you know? I mean, they're freaky shit. I like freaky shit. Especially if it comes in like a glass box or something. Watch out, cold-blooded! I think monsters in general are misunderstood. Hey, it comes on right there. Does that mean it's recording?
Yeah.
Pretty cool. The 30 minutes you have on stage, I think it's all over. Then you're not really in Mastodon anymore. You're just some dude from Mastodon. Nervous though. Nervous. Obviously, my belly will eat his belly. His is this shit's bigger. I think you're Ahab, but you're not. You're Ishmael, and you're just a shipmate. And I own this fucking ship.
Now I go back and watch him and I recognize the slurring and the shortness of breath. As you get older, it's harder to see yourself and your heroes. They're human now, and then they're gone. Brent was never inaccessible to me. I remember when they first showed up on Headbangers Ball. anything like it. The alarm goes off, but I'm dreaming. I'm 15. Blood and thunder on the stereo. The sky is red and gray. The world is in two-strip Technicolor. The song hasn't woken me up, it's entered my dream. He never left his younger self. Never let him go. It seemed like he was still back there in 2004, when I first became lost in their music.
Iron Tusk. That was a long, arduous day. Same director as March of Defiance for the Iron Tusk video, Chad Rollman. Again, we were like in between tours and we needed to do a video like pronto for the new album because it was just about to come out.
It was boring. I mean, fucking just stand around and drink beer all day, and then when they want you to play, they just like, okay, we're gonna run this tape and you guys are gonna pretend like you're playing your song. It's like, okay, whatever.
My mom's waiting for me one day after school. It's her brother. His girls found him in the basement. His daughters are grown now with kids of their own. How much do they remember? And who was he to all of us? Not the same thing he was to them.
Because we have losers, like Matt Bayless is obviously a loser. Really fucking badass.
Really badass.
Working on the album. Me, the only one in the band that's not a loser. My wiener's never went numb before. Well, yes, it has. What am I talking about? And we got Troy Sanders on the bass and vocals. That's why the album sounds so shitty right there.
Oh, shit.
And then Braun can barely keep a beat.
I like that word, vagina.
If he even, I don't even know what his deal is.
Vagina.
But then Bill.
I want to ride the space penis.
It's his birthday, so I just don't know.
Jamming with those three dudes is, you know, it's amazing. It's a lifestyle that I would have never foreseen. But now that it's happening and happened, you know, it's just really humbling, I guess, and ultimately just powerful.
Hey, I'm on the phone with First Act, you guys. What's going on? Hey. Groundhog's Day. Ever since February the 15th, we've been here doing this. And it's like what? It's like what? What's today? March 30th? Wake up, do the same thing. Even usually wear the same clothes. Wake up at the same time, same place, go to the same place, do the same thing. See the same people. They say the same things.
Yeah, you ready to repeat the Groundhog Drive?
What to do now, man? Go sit in that fucking room in there. Fucking hate sitting in that room. I'd rather stand in this room than sit in that room. I think I'm gonna get to play a song today. I'm gonna get to do something today in the studio. I'm gonna play a song. I'm gonna play a guitar on a song today. One song usually takes about 8 hours though to do guitar on. So I'm gonna be here for a while. I haven't really done that much on the record so far, but what I have done is pretty solid, and I feel that what we've got so far, as far as all Troy's bass tracks that he's done, which is he's almost done. I think tomorrow he will be done, and then what Braun has done so far sounds amazing. What Troy's put over what Braun's done is amazing, and vice versa. And then the songs that I have heard that we've actually tracked guitar on sound really fucking awesome, really strong and totally fucking thick and heavy, and it's all because of these expensive little skinny mics. And I know they're little, but they have a big sound. Most people would realize, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you can't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah. We've met a lot. We've met just about every heavy metal band there is, other than Metallica, and like as far as all the guys that want, like our peers, like people like Dillinger, Escape Plan, and like Killhall and bands like that. All those dudes that play those bands, they're the funniest, silliest motherfuckers I've ever met in my life. Yeah.
Next guests hail from Atlanta, Georgia, and they're here tonight with a song from their brand new album, Blood Mountain. Please welcome Mastodon.
It was quick when he died. They put him in the ambulance, then the coma, the IV, the plug. He was gone a few hours later. He's in the open casket, his skin like a candle. My mother cries. I've never seen her cry before. The band crosses over. And not just the metal band I'm almost too intimidated to fully embrace. Metal isn't just a sound, it's everything. It's life. It was a life that Brent fell into. Growing up with the one guitar, listening to country, his distant father's failing grades, and his brother, trapped in those walls. If not dreaming of something more than dreaming of being able to say it all. To to tell someone what he's feeling and has always felt. He plays guitar licks only a country fan would have dreamt of playing, and he changes metal. He screams like a beast, like an animal with a spear in his side. A drunken swing, a fall, unconsciousness, maybe a coma. When he comes back, the band is different and he is different. What did he see when he was out? It's as if, by almost dying, he lets death into the band, where they can try to deal with it, to make peace with it, to befriend it. Braun dedicates the album to his sister Sky.
Ether is stagnant. Air pushes it around. It's the beginning of thought, you know. It's where ideas come from. It's the last element, I guess. It's the element that you have to have that or you can't have anything else. We started to realize when we started recording the record that there was just a real vibe going on with this certain sound, and that we kind of needed to protect that, make it like, okay, well, this is like turning out to be more like this really kind of creepy classic rock sounding record.
It's our fourth or fifth full length, you know, if you count Call of the Mastodon, Remission, Leviathan, Blood Mountain. So this would be our fifth full length. And we've gone through a transitional growing phase ever since Call of the Mastodon. You know, each album has just sounded different. And on this album, I was like, I'm gonna do my biggest attempt to make a classic rock album. Something that will be timeless and go down in history for Mastodon, great band, but that one album, Crack the Sky, fucking love that album.
And we wanted something that would kind of stand the test of time and not be shelved after one or two listens.
I don't know what the hell we're gonna do to top this record, because this is the one. It's amazing, it really is. I think we finally got it right this time. Even though we've already had 5 great albums, I'm still looking for our swan song, you know what I mean?
When the material for Crack the Sky started to unfold, I knew that Brent had been digging a lot deeper than maybe previously on some of the other material that we had written together in the past. Just the impact that the accident in Vegas had on him.
I'm starting to write my lyrics now. I had to understand which approach Brahm was going to take lyrically.
Realizing that, when it came time to write lyrics, I felt like the lyrics that I was writing, I just had to dig a lot deeper this time and kind of tap into some things that had happened to me when I was younger.
I wanted him to tell me what he wanted me to sing because of the subject matter of the album. But Braun's ready to talk about it, and so if he's ready to talk about it, I'm ready to talk about it.
When I was 15, my sister died. She was 14, and that was totally devastating to me.
It's dedicated to her and named after her. Her name was Sky, and so we called it Crack the Sky.
I think just the phrase "crack the sky" kind of means, for me, is the moment that I was informed that Sky was gone. Vividly remember being told that. It just was, that was the moment, you know, and that for me could have cracked the sky.
The album is pretty personal to Braun because metaphorically and lyrically is about his sister that committed suicide when she was like 11 or 12 or something really young, you know?
Okay, now what do we do? Are you done with this? Okay, let's do that.
Here's how I'll write guitar solos. I don't. I just put my brain on autopilot and pick up the guitar and say, play the song. And just pretty much whatever I play, like first thing I play is pretty much just how the solo goes. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Brent pretty much wrote all this really amazing stuff, and I'm not positive, but I think that it was kind of born out of, you know, his, you know, what had happened to him. You know, that thing had happened at the VMAs, and it was, things were kind of weird, you know, like, not weird, but, you know, we were just really worried about Brent.
Brent got beat up really bad.
It took him a while to recover.
I got knocked unconscious and was in a coma and all that shit, and I fucking had severe fucking brain trauma, you know what I mean? So it took me a really long time to stop having vertigo from that. Like for about 8 months I had vertigo, like straight up like vertigo. I was dizzy. I couldn't go from parallel to horizontal without having the biggest fucking head rush and spin and euphoria and all this craziness. That shit went on for like 8 months.
He got rocked a little bit, you know. Something terrible happened to him. He was struggling a bit. It was just a bummer out, you know. As for the first time, like, you know, Mastodon felt like real fragile. And I think for someone like Brent, for that to happen, it's almost impossible for him to escape without having songs about it. You know, there are songs that come out of it, you know.
For some reason, I just cranked out a bunch of music and I just picked up the guitar and it just came out of me, you know what I mean? Which was really refreshing because I didn't know if I was ever even gonna be able to play guitar after getting hit that hard or something, you know?
But I think that's kind of important for all this music kind of poured out of him after the incident.
Exactly. We're gonna find it real fast though, so give me a chance to find it. Okay.
As far as like what happened to Brent's situation, I've never seen a phoenix reveal itself so quickly.
I like all that too.
Yeah. But you have that outer body experience theme all over the record.
Yes, that's mainly what
Yes.
the record is mainly about. Is like outer body travel, you know, like just and that ties in with the ethereal theme of air, which is the fourth element that we haven't touched on yet. So we wanted to touch on all the elements and then put like a box set out of all the elements: earth, wind, fire, and fire, and water. So.
Yeah, but why did you specifically chose that theme for the record?
Because it's the last element that we haven't touched on yet, because we've already touched on fire with Remission, water with Leviathan, and the earth with Blood Mountain, and now air with Crack the Sky.
Okay. So you want to complete all those elements?
Yeah. And then we can move on and start talking about other whatever is interesting to us to talk about, or sing about, or scream about.
But, you know, there's nothing we can do to change it, but those kind of things, you might want to keep those more private, you know. But, you know, I think it was a nice, you know, to keep her memory alive, or, you know, she was awesome.
Felt like every day since she was gone, I would play this, get sunk into the deep, close, low, bright eyes fading faster than stars falling. How can I tell you I failed? Brent Hinds died a few months after the band fired him, and the motorcycle he rode so conspicuously turned into his chariot off the earth, to go wherever artists go. I can't cry over either of them for months, leaving you behind, with my lonesome song. Brent goes and my song goes with him.
It's like a Hawaiian headdress for a ku tiki, like it's like a Hawaiian headdress for tikis. Okay, see, like you see a tiki, a carved wooden statue, yeah. Then it has this on the head, you know. That's what it is. I carve tikis. Okay. So this is just as when I look in the mirror, this is to remind me carved tikis.
Okay. Do you have a special connection with Hawaii?
Oh yeah, I have lots of friends that live there. And I usually go and visit there as much as possible. My buddy Circle did this in Waialuku, up on the mountain of Haleakala. And it was fun. You know, it's good stuff.
Brent's brother dies of a heart attack in 2010. The next record is called The Hunter. He was the hunter. And now he's forever on that record. I meet death again. He's 23. He bleeds and screams. I need to go to the hospital. A stroke and a heart attack at once. Dead before the ambulance arrives. We're always kids in my memory. I have to go home to his grave to speak to him now. But nobody speaks at the funeral. We all embrace at the parking lot, one after the other. I never felt this before. And she holds my hand by the coffin. She knew him best. He died on her birthday, and mine was the day after. They told each other their secrets, and I was always jealous. They shared everything two people can share. You know what pain and the inability to pay attention to it leads to. So why doesn't anyone encourage understanding it when they're young? The world needs artists, because when your people start to die, you feel it through art. And I would feel Brent's guitar and his screaming in my body.
yourself. But, you know, you can do it all day, or you can do it all night. You can just you know, as long as you're doing it. So I guess that's the important thing, you know, about playing the guitar. This is the guitar that started Funeral Out of Face right here. This is the Bad Boy 62 Tennessee and Gratch. I love this thing. You know what I like about 12 strings, Troy? Is that 70% of your life you'll tune it and the other 30% you'll play it.
It's a lot of time wasted.
A lot of time tuning. And we're back, and thanks for joining us today. We're here with a B-bender guitar. Man, I messed my finger up somehow. Yeah, well, I guess that should be easy enough there, trying to get all the guitar on these songs here. And hello in here to our special guest, Bron Daler, again 2 times in a row.
Hi, was there yesterday too.
We have been just busy as doggone shoot. I've been drawing scary faces on newspapers.
I work at AT&T.
You son of a bitch.
Did we already show you how to make honey mustard on the last show? Was that the last show? I can't remember.
Ow, shit.
Having just too much fun down here at the studio. There's a lot of sitting around.
I'm reading about the history of Marshall. They make amplifiers.
Once more around the sun.
Can you hear a little bit more of my guitar now?
Kids at home, we got our own show, you know. It's called What's Up and How's Things Going?
Yeah, sounds awesome. We got lots of 12 strings and 9 strings and...
I'm just exploring options with this, and I don't want to, you know, we just might come across something really cool. You know, I don't want to clutter it up either. I just want to make magic happen.
And it's just the chorus,
I'm doing something totally different over that. That sounds like, I think it sounds pretty good together.
Sounds huge. Nice clean amps.
This song is hard. One more song though. I can do another song.
She snorts something and dies on the floor of the bathroom, twitching, convulsing, discovered after it's over. That is a lonesome death. Her eyes rolled back in her head, so I say goodbye to nobody at her side in the hospital. They say I knew something was wrong when you didn't call me kid. After the funeral, they were at their most fragile. Back in a country they'd left behind. At their funeral, I think not for the last time, I feel alone here. And it's so rich and so full of love, and I can't feel it. I just feel cheated.
Ever since Crack the Sky, we've kind of taken the stance that whatever tragedies in your life, you know, that everyone goes through, we're lucky enough to have this thing to put it all in, you know, and it's Mastodon. We use it for that. It's a nice container to put these kind of things. That's where we put my sister's death, that's where we put Brent's brother's death, that's where we put Troy's wife's cancer, that's where we put Bill's mom's death, that's where we put all this stuff, and you turn it into something beautiful, or you try to at least.
Mike comes home and the house is quiet. He doesn't hear her, but she's there, hanging from the spiral staircase. I can't imagine him crying. The rest of Mastodon seem to calm down to find something inside themselves, waiting to be what Thornton Wilder says. They're waiting for something they feel is coming. Something important and great. Aren't they waiting for the eternal part in them to come out clear? He was in there, back with his brother, back in his childhood home with that guitar.
So it's kind of like a metaphor for cancer, I think. There's been a lot of cancer going around in the world in general, but in our personal lives.
Cancer will touch your life at some point, unfortunately.
Since the dawn of time, people have dealt with this, and what it is a very stealth disease. It's something you can't see, and it's in you. You're born with it. It's silent all its life, and it's running without vision. Something that can hollow you out inside and change all that's right.
A person who's given a cancer diagnosis, you ultimately are thinking, how much time do I have, you know?
It's facing your own mortality. And what does that mean? It's like, well, what do I do with this time? How much time? It's usually the first question.
When you're reminded of your mortality, then you think a little bit more about it, obviously. How much time is left?
And it's what you do from that moment forward that means everything. It's that dark journey that one goes on from this diagnosis to the very end result. So it's the fight, it's the struggle, and it's what you can muster from the inside out that will determine any longevity that you might have.
First song sets the tone for the record.
I'm pretty sure it's a party song. Oh, it might be about Satan. Yeah, it is. One of them's about Satan. So many lyrics, it's hard to remember.
A while ago, you announced that you were a year sober and that you were feeling really good. You know,
the continuation of that sobriety sort of part of that triumphant feeling in this record at all?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, for those 2 years, it was, I started writing, and I wasn't waking up every day super hungover and like, I don't want to touch the guitar. The creativity in me came back to the surface. I feel like I started getting a lot more things done and put in order, and got control of my life again, basically. So that's where most of these ideas and things came from. It's just me being on it like as much as I could.
Coming from a place where Brent was living in a van by your house, and then you're just this little band from Atlanta. Is it weird to come up and then have people a fan of you as a person instead of, well, as well as the band? And now it goes from like Brent to in the van to like check out the new Brent Hinds signature Epiphone guitar.
Right.
Is it a weird thing to kind of come up with?
For me, it's pretty great because we really built this from the ground up.
Yeah.
17 years ago when we started, we lived in a van, and we would play any shithole basement, club, dive bar, VHF hall, anywhere, and we had this drive. We still do.
Please play St. Vitus.
And we did nearly 1,000 shows before we were fortunate enough to upgrade to a bus and start to get some recognition. So we put in the time and the energy. Also, some great and very fortunate circumstances happened, but we did. It worked. It worked.
It's the end of the world, as you know it. But I feel fine.
Hi guys, this is Tor from TC. We're here in Horsens at the old jailhouse, and I'm here with Brent Hinds from Mastodon.
Hi.
So, hi. That's a good start. So, you guys are touring.
Start over.
Okay, we'll do it again. Hey guys, this is Tor from TC. We're here at the old jailhouse in Horsens with Brent Hinds from Metallica.
Hi.
Did I say that?
No, continue.
Jesus.
Continue.
I think there's two songs out from the album so far. When is the album coming out?
Oh my god.
You alright, man?
Oh fuck.
Holy shit.
That was bad.
You alright, man?
Oh my god, are you serious? Are you fucking... Oh fuck.
Did it really get you?
It got him.
Oh. You alright?
See, everything's fine though when it starts fucking around with golf clubs.
You alright?
You wanna go? Oh. What'd he get you, buddy? Right there. I'm very sorry, man. Very sorry. Bam. I'm sorry.
I can't be much more than 11 years old when my parents got me my first electric guitar. My cousin Keith comes over to help me learn how to play it. He is so patient with me. Later, when I know what I'm doing, we'll go out and pick out an acoustic guitar together. He gave me my hands to play. He gave me a method of expression. He becomes like a distant brother. Remote, but only because he's always deep in thought, loving the world, but making sure to take a step back and observe everything, to be grateful for everything that life gave him. He climbs mountains to see it all, to see what God sees. He's 38 years old. He's become a father again. A son and a daughter. Their second child isn't but a year old, and the God he trusted turns his back on him. Leukemia. He had just moved to Colorado, so his parents and his brother can't just come see him whenever they want. A friend offers to fly me out to see him, but it's too late. I'm in her apartment when I hear that he dies. I don't know what to do with myself. Discovering an intimacy that will never come back. After that night, we never kissed again. I take the train home to Pennsylvania, and his parents and his brother are sick. The grief has shut them down. I've never seen them like this. But I'm starting to grow wearyingly used to seeing people on the worst day of their life. His son will not remember him. He'll never climb another mountain again. When I'm in high school, learning Mastodon songs on the guitar, it's only because he let me. He gave me a gift that I can never repay.
Thanks for tuning in today with Brent Talk. We got a special guest, and they are guitars. This guitar is only made for chords, but sometimes you can play notes on it.
And you're excited.
Hi, I'm Brent Hinds, and this is my new orange signature Brent Hinds Terra amp from Orange Amps, and I'm super stoked.
All right, but 10% less excited. Just say it's a true channel switching terror.
It's a true channel switching terror. A single control in the natural channel has been designed with more bottom end. Power switching options of 15.751 of
15.7.1.5.
15.7.15.
No.
And I drew a really cool drawing for it, which I don't see on display anywhere. So, so far, nah.
I'm sure it's. Tell us about the sound and when
Sounds really good.
Yeah.
It's the best sounding one they have. Yeah. Two Fender twin reverb amps. Combos.
Yeah.
I think there's two 12s in there.
Yep.
And then I got this pedal board over here. So this is the intro for Oblivion, and I wrote it while I was recovering from a head injury on my girlfriend's couch at the time in flannel Cheshire Cat pajamas. So it's pretty simple to play, so it kept me entertained for a week or so. There, buckaroos and buckarettes. Let me tell you a little bit about this janitor pedal.
What the fuck is a tone violation?
That amp is in direct violation of the sound code of Hinds County, and I gotta confiscate it, but I will give you a perfectly legal amp in exchange.
So you're gonna steal our gear?
I don't make the laws, I just enforce them now. We could talk about it right here, we can go down to the station.
This baby replicates the sound of
Brent Hinds of Mastodon?
I heard about your dilemma, Tommy.
My name is
But now you can get that Brent Hinds sound through the Brent Hinds Terra from Orange Amp.
Because at the Chateau Marmont, they give you a giant thing of coffee.
You are shaking a little bit.
Yeah.
Too much caffeine.
Calm as a cucumber. Chilada. Bud Light. Thank you. .com. I love, my favorite things about horse meat are how you can quarter them up into millions of types of sausage.
I like that brand. Initially we thought that Mastodon's 7th album was going to be a double. One composed entirely by you, the other by the rest of the band. Now we know it's going to be a singular thing.
You don't know very much then, do you?
That's what the latest that I know. You can definitely correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, then you would know what I don't want you to know. Life wouldn't be a mystery if I told you the things that you want to know, really. About.
So, double album, nod yes, no.
Okay. Roon Toon Boon Master Dune tuner fish sandwich, very famous in the circle that we swim in the school of people that we know. They're difficult to do and you need a lot of exotic ingredients. For example, today we're going to be using freshwater albacore tuna. Optional, we have a brackish water king tuna salmon hybrid. Man, I like flying V's a lot because they fly. It's built out of mahogany and it's tough. I love it.
Okay.
That's what happened to music. Maybe, or not enough.
You think too much marijuana
I
happened?
think they put other drugs in the marijuana, and then people were just like, dude, electronics, cell phones. Like, we don't need anything. We don't need. All I need is my cell phone. That's all I need. I don't even need a house. I just need my cell phone, and if I need a house, I'll find one on my cell phone. But I can't afford it. You know, that's how people are. You know, we're in this band, and we're touring all over the world.
Which band was this?
Mastodon, not the Ventures. I don't play in that band anymore.
Okay.
First, it's like Warner Brothers. I'm like, what are you guys? Are you guys lost? What are you doing at our show? Like, oh, we're really interested in your band. I'm like, have you ever seen our band? Like,
What do you listen to that you feel guilty about? What's your guilty pleasure that you're listening to right now?
Creed.
No.
I'll f***ing rip my shirt off and just like,
Creed?
with arms wide open. I have Creed parties.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Everyone has to come dressed as Scott Stapp.
Nothing. We're just Creed partying.
It's a Creed party. What? You didn't get the invite? I invited you on Facebook.
Your beers are in the secret room over there.
Okay. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anybody that.
This is going to be edited.
Don't tell them about
Don't listen to us either, but record us. I really like that. I mean, at first, I didn't even know about sugar. I was so young, I didn't even know what the sugar, like, what was that? When I was like, what I could see as a kid, it was turning a different color. The science of it made me like super like, oh, what's that? I gotta have that. So that was my attraction at the time. And we're talking about total adolescent.
We never expect to be nominated for anything, but to be invited back to the Grammys again for at the right time, it's just awesome. It's cool feelings, cool to be here. We love it.
Thanks, I'm super proud.
Yeah.
Hi, Mom. Say hi to moms everywhere. We love moms. Well, thanks, guys. Congratulations. Have a great night.
A personal impact that happened to me that did something to this album. Personal impact that happened to me. My manager died. Yeah. I think that is the primary focus, you know what I mean?
I mean, there's a lot of luck involved, but it's also hard work and determination and sacrifice. Luckily, Troy and Brent had the same mindset where it's like, hey, I don't care about fucking working. Let's all just put our instruments in this van and book our own shows up to like Rochester or New York City and back. Yeah, there was years of just kind of breaking even, and until we met Nick John. And then it was like, oh, I got you guys on Ozfest. All of a sudden we're touring with Slayer constantly because Slayer was under the same management. And then we're moved on to like Metallica and Iron Maiden, and it was just like, wow, this is freaking cool.
You can't take four completely different human beings, and when they speak positively about one person, you know that one person was special, and he was integral to what that unit was.
So to lose that and to lose that person just really sucks on many levels, especially in this process, making this album, and it sucks not to have his take on things,
He's all over this record. He is all over it, man. Listen to the lyrics. He's all over it.
We always knew that our next album was going to be dedicated to him.
And the four of us really didn't say that to one another. I think that was just an unspoken commitment, like, hey, this is what we're going to do.
Every release that we put out is going to have something to do with him.
What he did for us, what he meant for us as individuals and as a band, that will get channeled.
I could go on and on about Nick John. The guy was just the coolest friend of mine that I miss every day.
Miss you, Nick.
They were losing him. She made me promise to never say that I wanted to fix her. But we couldn't be fixed. People who so desperately want to be seen by someone who knows what it's like to hit bottom to cover sadness with alcohol, to call someone else when you want to die. Please tell Lucifer he can't have this one. Her spirit's too strong. We were lovers and we were friends and we spent hours talking, states away, dreaming of being at each other again, calculating the costs of flights we'd never take. And then there were those nights, hearing her talk to me about disastrous men stepping out on their wives, men with terrible politics, men who made her feel worthless, because that was how she felt inside. Men, if they made her feel worthless, then it would confirm what she already knew. And I wanted to say, I'll be with you. I want us to be together. I want to be yours. And I need you to be mine. But we were both stretched so thin by our illness. She would call me and say, your girl's not doing so good. She would drink whole bottles of wine. And I could always tell from the silences between sentences, your girl's not doing so good. And she was my girl for those hours on the phone. In bed in the dark, or walking the block on hot summer nights. Your girl's not doing too good. It haunts me now. If her parents didn't know about the blackout drinking, if they didn't know she hid away her trouble because her brother was in even worse trouble, if they didn't understand her, if no one wanted to know who she really was, then she was my girl. We're talking and I'm pacing around the block in Baltimore, and these horrible black beetles and roaches kept coming out of the darkness as I spoke. They were all around me. I'm walking home, and I see them again. An eerie, horrible premonition. I had just texted her and hadn't heard back, and suddenly I needed to talk to her again. But she was gone. And like those awful bugs, we were two people who only came out at night to really talk about how sad we were, how much everything could hurt, how being and feeling crazy was the only real response to life. I missed her funeral. I couldn't be in a room with people who didn't want her to be herself, who didn't want to know the truth of her. Now she is under the earth. Once a week I think to call her, to tell her I'm thinking about her. And I have pictures now, and I have our last embrace, and I have so little else. Her parents sold all her things. Her writing must be long gone now. What I had was a song from my band. Just like she was my girl. Once upon a time and never again. Everyone else got her for the beginning of her life. I got her last self.
very clever. He doesn't forget things very often. And I think that's probably one of the hardest things about being Brent Hinds.
I just came out of a 7-year relationship and kind of came home off tour just to break up with, I guess, my girlfriend. So it's not been going very good. It's been very, a little shitty.
They die in their nursing facilities. And once more at a bedside of someone who can't see or hear me. But the awful sight, I'm not prepared for it. Her eyes slowly moving back and forth, uncomprehending. Some awful muscular reflex as the brain goes dead. He has fluid in his lungs. He has a tumorous mass inside of him. They say he'll only last a few weeks. And without her anyway, he's already gone. I'll hear his wailing. A coffin-side whimpering. I can't get the sound out of my head. What will I do now without her? He says, over and over and over. Brent sings from some place deeper inside him than he's ever accessed before. He and his band have changed and grown, and I can hear him more clearly than ever now. But he dies and I hear this for the first time, and I'm transfixed by possibilities, strangled in their crib, moved beyond words. The band had hidden their hearts beneath all that sound. And just when he found it, he died.
I like that elephant man looking fish, though. The parrotfish, it was actually, we renamed it the elephant man looking fish. And that was dope. I thought that was cool. And we looked at that a lot when he would come around. Because we were playing the Joseph American Elephant Man song and stuff. We were just, I guess it's kind of an ode to him, that little thing we did there.
The aquarium show. I find it after Brent dies. It's impossible not to see in Brent our mutual lack of coping mechanisms. She and I, drunk, at bars, on her floor, on her balcony, in her bed. And I'm happy being so unhappy. Because we're together. laying next to one another, or hundreds of miles away. And hopefully she doesn't feel so alone. I know I didn't.
I don't know. I saw Eric Clapton on TV and asked my mom what was he doing on TV, and she said that, oh, he's in a band and they travel all over the world and play music. And I was like, that sounds like fun. I think I was like 5 when I said that to my mom, and I think it was just like embedded in me somehow, you know, and my kind of just was there before I was here, probably. I don't know. I guess when we started playing on, like when people started talking about management and stuff like that, I guess, and there were people coming to the shows from major labels and people of management companies wanting to talk to us, and we were like, why? What do they want to talk about? And then I started being like, oh, I guess this could be a lucrative thing. But you know, right when I first got together with these guys and wrote our first stuff right then and there in the practice pad, you could kind of you could feel something that was there. And then also our first demo, I let my bass player for one of my other bands, Female Out of Face, Steve McPeets, I let him hear it, and he said, well, I guess we won't be playing in Female Out of Face anymore. And I was like, no, that's not true. But yeah, so you know, I guess around several different moments I've realized it. Be a hobo, probably. Probably. I would have played music. If this band wouldn't have worked out, I would have been in another band playing music. Is what I would be doing. Oh yeah, I live for that feeling. I feel anxious and nervous without bringing new music into the world. But to put new music into the world sometimes can get rid of your anxiousness and nervousness and cause more of it at the same time. But it's also kind of like a feeling you learn to, or you kind of crave or something. It's like an addiction. I'm addicted to anxiousness. One time I did too much cocaine and I thought I was going to die, but I wasn't going to say that, but I just did. Oh my God, sorry. When I was playing a gig in, I think it was Asheville, North Carolina, my friend Mickey Muggs' mom had just passed away, and she was in the front row of the concert of the Crack the Sky tour, and she was crying, and I was playing the guitar solo for the song, and I was just kind of looking at her playing this kind of already kind of sorrowful guitar solo, and it kind of made me tear up, you know. And it's the most that was definitely hands down the most emotional I've ever been on stage because of our music and because of my love for my friend, with you know, my friendship with my buddy in the front there, you know. It would probably think my 15-year-old self would probably think that I'm pretty cool, or the complete opposite. Or we are talking about myself, yeah, that's right. Might think, if we're talking about myself thinking about myself, then it's definitely going to think that that we're doing good, even, you know, 20, 25 years in the future or whatever, still doing good 20 years later.
So that was for fucking Brent, okay?
She put a kid's pool on her balcony to sit in during the summer. to feel closer to the water. It seemed like she was always chasing deeper connection, more than she could find in a city, working a job that was demeaning to her. We all think we're working towards something. Suddenly their journey, when I joined it, for their record Leviathan, about the search for the white whale, it's all together now begging me for a greater meaning. But I'm so tired. And I just want to dream so I'll see her again. And the water in her pictures, it awakens something. She told me once she wanted to be a mermaid, to swim away somewhere immaterial, to be unbound and free. And ever since she left, I think of her out there, in the frozen sea, unreachable, but free. I look at pictures of her over and over, scrolling through them as fast as I can, as if I can make them come to life. I stare, and this feeling rises in me like excitement, like lust, like a promise, like I'll see her again so soon, but she'll never appear to me again. And so the feeling just sits in my heart, immovable and always half there, always inside of me, and always down there with her. There are songs you'll never hear again, the way you first heard them. And it's all together now. And maybe I can find a way outside of my body and my mind, because I feel trapped in my body, and I'm trapped here without her. Your girl's not doing so good. I haven't slept. And lately my hands shake as I shiver under blankets. Is this what it's going to be like from now on? Will I never sleep? I can see the pain. It's written all over your face. How can I tell you I failed? I see her in a dream, naked in front of me and cold and tired and crying, her face red. She looks lost. And I know I can pull her close and hold her, and I can feel her skin on mine for the last time. And now it's all in my dreams. I didn't know what this would feel like. I didn't know it was coming. Even after everything, death finds new ways of taking from you. I could just call her. I could just ask her to be with me forever. Forever now. My girl's not doing so good. But I have my song.
losing himself.